Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all alright. Martin here. It's good to see you all. As you can see, I'm in my room. I'm in bed. I've got my dressing gown on, and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, I think. So I've come on here now, just to tell you a little story. Just to tell you about my real dad, and just back when I was little, like growing up with my dad, my real dad. His name was George Easter, and the kind of sort of weird but wonderful story that goes with it. It's a weird one, but I remember this is way before I was even thought of, because and I remember my dad and my nan, before they were my nan and dad, they were best friends, and they used to go out drinking. They used to go to the pub, and my nan did a little bit of matchmaking, and got Sylvia, my mum, and my dad George together. My dad was married before. My mum was married before. She had 3 girls, and she broke up with her first husband, the father of my 3 half sisters. Excuse me. He kept cheating, and so she just had enough, and she left. My real dad, George, there was 3 brothers, and one being George, my dad, and one of the brothers had a girlfriend, and she was absolutely beautiful, very slim, lovely figure, beautiful blonde hair, and my dad fell in love with her. So he fell in love with his brother's sister, and in the end the sister left the brother and got in with my dad. So obviously it caused a little bit of a feud between the 2 brothers. Then they got married. They lived happily ever after, and he was absolutely besotted with her. And like I say, this is all way before I was even thought of. And she became pregnant, but lost the baby. So I may have had a little brother and sister. And unfortunately, she developed cancer, and of course, back in them days, there was nothing really they could do, and unfortunately, she passed away. And my dad, um, he lost his mum and his wife in the same year, which is enough to tip anyone over the edge. And because I was only like, I was probably about, this is when I was born, when my mum and my dad eventually did get together, they were only together a few months. And my dad had a really bad depression, and my mum tried to help as best as she could. But unfortunately, it broke them up in the end. And they still stayed good friends. They were really, I was quite lucky growing up because, living with my mum and then staying with my dad at the weekend, and we'd like sit and watch, old black and white movies and stuff, and he'd be cooking me bacon sandwiches on a Sunday and that kind of thing, just taking me to the beach and taking me to the park, but I never saw, his struggles. I never saw his depression. And I think if I knew now what I knew, if I knew then what I knew now, I would help him obviously through it the best way I could. And he was such a wonderful father. But he let his insecurities get the better of him, and he was so depressed and never did anything about it. And unfortunately, he turned to drink. He was very heavily dependent on alcohol and tobacco, which in the end he became an alcoholic, and it caused him to have thrombosis of the heart. And of course, I was so young, I didn't see all this. He kept it well hidden. And although he was going through all these struggles, depression and being an alcoholic, he was such a wonderful dad still. He still did the things that dads are meant to do. Like I say, taking me to the park and taking me to the beach and stuff, So he was still a wonderful dad. He was. And today it's 31 years, the anniversary of when my dad passed away. And, it's a long time. But I still, even though it's 31 years, I still get like, yeah. And I still remember the day, clear as day. I remember, because I've never shared this story with like a lot of people, especially on here. And I know I can tell you guys because you're my friends. I remember 9 years old, and I remember waiting for my dad. It was Christmas, and all the family had been round, and I kept saying, "Mum, why isn't Dad here?" And because he didn't like big crowds, And she said maybe he's waiting for everyone to go, and then so it's just you and him. And a couple of days went by, and Mum said, "Get ready, get your shoes and socks on, and we'll walk, to his to see if he's all right." And on the way there, I bumped into my nan, because my nan literally just lived around the corner from where I live. And she said, "I got a phone call from George, and he's been ill, but he'll come and see you when." So I stayed at my nan's for a little while. Mum went back home, and I was waiting for a phone call from my dad. And I spoke to him. He rang me. We spoke on the phone, and he said that he'd been ill. I said, "Can I come and see you?" And he said, "Yeah, when I'm better," And yeah, and that was the last conversation I had with him. And then I remember then a week went by, and I happened to be looking out the window. I was 9 years old, and I was like looking out my mum's window, and a police car turned up. It turned up outside my house, and I see the police coming in my garden, and I went rushing downstairs saying, "Mum, Mum, Mum." I said, "The police are coming in." And she's like, "What? What's going on?" With that, there was a knock on the door, and my stepdad answered the door and let the police in, and I was asked to go upstairs. And I thought, what the hell's going on? I tried to listen at the top of the stairs. I was, then with that, the police went, and then I was called downstairs. And I could see my mum was trying to fight back the tears, and I was 9 years old. And I knew it was something bad. And I remember just thinking to myself, please don't let it be my dad. Whatever it is, just please don't let it be my dad. And that's when my stepdad broke the news to me, and he said that they found my dad, they found him dead in his house. And I was told that. Sorry. I was told that over Christmas. Over Christmas, 9 years old. God. Oh, God. Although it's 31 years, it still gets me. My God. Oh, Christ. Sorry. I still miss him. I'm 41 years old and, I'm being told that news at 9 years old. It was just... And I remember just crying and crying so much that I cried myself to sleep, I think. And it was one of the most hardest times in my life. It was really hard. I've just turned into an emotional human waterfall. I just wish I knew what I knew now back then, and I hope he knows that I would have helped him in every way that I could. I would have helped him in every way that I could. Yeah. And sometimes when I look up at the sky, and there's a great big, the biggest shining star, and I see it flickering, and I just wink at the star, and I just think, yeah, that's him, that's my dad. But yeah, but the story of when the two brothers, when they ended up obviously falling out because he fell in love with his brother's girlfriend, and they were very happy together. They were, like I say, it's a kind of a weird but beautiful story kind of thing. And there's been times where, because you guys you've told me in messages when you drop me a comment down below, and you point out how genuine I am, and you see the closeness between me and my mum, and I'm like, wow, I'm like that every day. What you see on YouTube is like how I'm at work, or I'm like when I'm out, when I'm at home with my mum. There's no there's no fakeness or anything, and you see, I get so much wonderful comments saying, you're so kind, and and so it really, honestly, I'm going, God, here I go again. The comments that you leave, it just, honestly, they really just so touching. Because when my mum's been so ill, and it just, and even though she's a lot better than she was, just seeing your lovely comments, just, it really is uplifting, and it's just really touching, because you see, that I'm a genuine, caring person, and your lovely comments, just, it's so uplifting and so overwhelming, and I'm like, wow, yeah. So there's been times that I've wanted to come on here and tell this story. And I thought, oh God, no, I'm going to get upset. And it's like, you know, um, and then really when you think of it, it's like, it's okay if you get upset, you know, it's fine. You know, a lot of people appreciate more the realness of your videos, if you know what I mean. So I'm glad I finally plucked up the courage to come on and tell this story and share it with you, share with my friends. Yeah, breathe. Yeah. And I was just sitting here tonight and I was listening to two songs. I listened to Supermarket Flowers by Ed Sheeran, and my song to my dad, it just, oh my God, it just conjures up everything, you know, about me and my dad and my mum, is Dance with My Father by Luther Vandross. And I've sung it a couple of times on here. And just like, and I remember once there was something I wanted to do, and my mum was like, no, no, no. And I was like, oh, Dad, but can I? And he's like, well, only if your mum says. And I'm like, yeah, she said, yeah. And mum's like, no, I didn't. And then, like, finally make me do just what my mama said. Later that night when I was asleep. Yeah, so, yeah. So just the words in that song, just like, it just, and when I very first heard it, I thought, Jesus Christ, it just sums up everything, absolutely everything that, you know, like a father and son, you know, or father and daughter, you know, like all the things that, yeah. So now finally, like, I'm probably just sound like I'm rambling now, but I'm glad I came on here today, and I've wanted to share it with you many, many times, and just, you know, in the past I've said thank you, you know, for all your wonderful comments, but I just wanted to show how thankful I am. You know, sometimes the word thank you just doesn't seem enough, but I hope you know how thankful I am for just you being you, and I thank you. So sorry for blubbing. Yeah. Yeah. Marty loves you. He does. Take care, guys, and just have a great weekend. Just have a really good weekend. And just thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching this video. And I hope that you like the video enough to give it a thumbs up. And please go and drop me a comment down below. And as you know, I will always reply back to you. Always. Yeah, and subscribe if you haven't already, and also hit the notification bell at the side. That just lets you know when I've uploaded a video to YouTube. So take care, guys, and I'm gonna love you and leave you. I'm gonna, of course, milk. Yeah. Ice cold, of course. Oh, I just had a stinking bloody headache. I had a really muggy head, but it's gone now. I went and took 3 paracetamols. Couldn't sleep, but finally it's gone now. Oh. So I'm going to enjoy my milk. Yeah, I love you guys, and thanks so much for being there for me and my mum. Thanks ever so much. I'm running out of words to say, but yeah, take care, and I'll be on here over the weekend, probably Saturday or Sunday, decorating the Christmas tree and all that. I will get my arse in gear, and I will, like, some point get the tree down. We've just had no room where to put it, because because I keep buying all these reduced flowers, so our house looks like a bloody florist at the moment. So there's no room to put the Christmas tree, but yeah, but we will put the other Christmas tree up. Yeah. Right. Have a great weekend, guys. Yeah. Love you all. I love you all, really. I do. And take care. And I'll see you later. Oh, my double chin sends its love as well. See? See you later, guys. Mwah. Love you. Bye. Bye. Thank you so much.